Hey, I am Big Meach, and this, my darlings, this is a Big Meach moment. Well, children, let me come at you like this, honey, because I need for you guys to hopefully take what I have to say into consideration and that we will look at this wholeheartedly. I woke up and found out they claiming that Twitter and things have been giving this rapper, what's his name, Boosie Badass or whatever his name is. They've been giving him, the run of the muck, honey. They've been all up under, just throwing him up under the jail for what he had said about Dwayne Wade and the now Miss Zaya Wade. Well, uh, let me say this to those who don't know how to agree to disagree. Okay? And I'm going to go to my community, the alphabet children, honey. Okay? Let's start with us first. Simply because someone disagrees with us, we have to learn when it's okay to say our piece against it. And we have to learn when folks are coming from a place of ignorance and really they just don't know what's going on. I listened to Boosie's rant, and his rant was out of sheer um, uneducated nonsense. Okay, well, I won't even call it nonsense. Let me retract that. What it is, you have a straight man who does not understand what this is all about. And from what he's gathered, from what he thinks that transitioning is, he spoke from that place. Okay. And listening to him, oh man, he's only 12 years old. Don't cut his dick off, or this, that, and the other. That there, honey, is from him not understanding what all this is. See, this is somebody who we talk about all the time. If you don't know what the fuck is going on, shut the fuck up. You know how we say that to folks? Well, he had a knee jerk reaction to what he heard. Okay, and then based on the information that he's privy to about it, he reacted as such. That wasn't a part for everybody to jump on him and blow him up and carry it on or whatever, because he don't know what transitioning is. Okay, all he knows is that to say that you want to transition and you want to become a girl, that means you want to have sexual reassignment surgery, and nobody at 12 years old needs to be thinking like that. Okay, that there is the primal essence of his argument. Okay, now what we have to do, people, is that we have to make this kind of information available, but it's a catch-22 because though the information is out there, there's a lot of the naysayers who don't want to accept the information. Transitioning is not that simple, number one. Number two, just because you're transitioning, you have to make the decision as to whether or not you're going to have sexual reassignment surgeries. But well before sexual reassignment surgery happens, there's a psychological process that has to happen before the child gets on hormones, before the child is able to do anything that's going to physically alter anything. There is a process. So within that process, this is where it takes place, the whole breakdown, to see if the person is mentally ready and stable to handle what is coming on. That's the part that many of y'all don't know about that. Y'all keep hollering, okay, this baby is 12 years old, don't know. Honey, stop underestimating children and stop trying to tell kids what their feelings are. And I had to learn that myself because, we tell kids all the time, you ain't got no damn feelings or you ain't got no nerves. Okay? In this day and age, child, everybody got something, and we cannot discount kids and discount their feelings simply because, number one, we don't want to hear that. Number two, we don't agree with it. Number three, we think that they being too grown or whatever the case may be. Kids are growing up very fast these days. And this 12-year-old adolescent is at a pubescent stage, and after listening to this child talk, and articulate exactly what's going on. No, honey, there's something here. And then nobody is listening to Dwayne when he says, this threw me. I had to educate myself about this. And rather than take my child and throw my child out to the wolves, I decided to embrace my baby. Okay. Now, many of y'all out there, where the biological mama, this, that, and the other, that ain't none of your motherfucking business. That ain't none of your business. Okay? Stop sitting up here trying to make this something of what it is not. Okay? You make it more into it than what it is. Okay? But stop jumping on folks because you think that they coming down. Everybody who has an opinion are not coming from a place of hate. That's what we have to learn. Everybody with an opinion is not coming from a place of hate. You may not like what they say, and it may come from a place of uneducated madness, and may come from a place of ignorance. It may even come from a place of stupidity, because the difference is folks know the information, but they just being stupid because they don't want to accept it. They know what's out there, but they just want to be so black and white. They don't want to accept the gray, they say, and they say fuck the rainbow colors. They just want to be stupid that way. We have to understand, listen, interpret everything fairly before we jump on the bandwagon and start nailing folks to the cross. Because you know malice, you know venom, you know vitriol, you know when someone is being completely shady. And you know when somebody is not, because they don't understand and they don't get it. Okay? Most folks who are traditional in their thinking, in heterosexual, heteroattractional normality, okay, that understands boy plus girl equals whatever. Okay, if they under that, a lot of them are not going to be privy to the information that the alphabet children are. The gay community and carrying on, they don't. A lot of them don't want to, because they don't get down like that. But at the same time, them not getting down like that, a lot of them are open to understanding and discovery, and that's where we have to bridge the gap. Let's bridge that gap versus trying to tear each other down. See, social media is a cute thing. It ain't necessarily a good thing, because we get so heated. We get so that way with this thing to where we're ready to jump and pounce and put a whole lot of misinformation out there before we uncover the truth. Don't jump on this Boosie cat. Okay, at least not yet. Now, I will say this. Let me go here, because I just saw somebody posted up his son got a birthday or something. I don't know if that's the day or whenever he posted this. And he said to his son, look, I got a bag and I got a hoe. Go get him a girl or whatever to give him some head. Now, I believe his son is 12, 13, 14 or something like that? Early teens? Okay. So you want to question Dwayne Wade's parenting, but yet you want to sit down here and say that this kind of parenting to where you're going to make sure your son is a man because you're going to get him a hoe or whatever. Okay. So now, did you go too far? As you told Dwayne, is that going too far for you? Or is that being normal because that's what men and folks do? With their boys coming of age. Is that what you upset about because this 12-year-old is saying I'm transgender and he doesn't get a chance to get a hooker or a hoe to suck his dick? Is that what this is? See, when we talk about it, we have to look at it from all sides of the coin. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing, because, there's a male rite of passage. Women, you ain't going to understand that. There's just a man's rite of passage that just happens. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. And I want y'all to sit up there and think I'm throwing stones. I'm making a point. Because right now, that's how he governs his house. He wants his son to sit down there and know what it is to be a man. Okay. But in throwing out shade or throwing out parental guidance, let's look at that. Now, as I said, I'm not going to jump on you because you came from a place of ignorance and don't know what transitioning is all about. And perhaps somebody needs to sit down there and talk about the steps, okay? Because it's not that easy, and it's not. There is progress in that. And the ultimate thing about sexual reassignment surgery is that there becomes a personal decision at that time whether somebody's going to do that or not. There's a lot of trans girls who opt out because they realize that they don't need it. There's some trans women that feel as though they have to do it in order to feel quote unquote complete. But that there is a personal decision. But as far as everything else in transitioning, honey, it takes a minute now. It takes a minute. And it's a lot of counseling and stuff that goes into it to make sure that they're ready and they're not being talked into it from somebody else. Because I know a number of drag queens who ought to stay drag queens, but they decided that because somebody told them they were fishy and give it a look, bitch, and the trade want them, that they thought that that meant they're supposed to be a woman, and they get caught up in what they think being a woman is. And those are usually the ones that after they've gone through so much, y'all keep hearing about, you saw the reports, oh, there's a number of them who wish they hadn't did it, and now they done went too far. That's because a lot of them got caught up in what they thought it was to be a woman, not realizing that the problems that women have, you haven't even paid attention to the history of women. Women, honey, are not the most celebrated gender on this planet. Women have been beat and raped and pillaged and carried on. Women are still fighting for equal rights. So because of that, you know, those who have struggled with their transition, that a lot of folks, I done seen the videos, or you need to check this out, you need to hear this. That's because a lot of those who wish they hadn't done it were the ones who got caught up in the fantasy of thinking that that was going to be the answer to their problems. When basically all they were feminine sissies who expressed themselves. They should have stayed drag queens versus trying to transition. However, that's a whole nother topic. But right now, I just want to get on y'all, LGBT children and those who support us. Everything is not hate. Everybody who says something to the contrary is not coming from a place of hate. A lot of times it's because they don't know the process. They're not educated in what it is. And it's up to us to make sure that the information is out there so they can make educated decisions and educated commentary versus all this foolishness that come out. Because after this, whether they accept it or not, that's when it becomes stupid and it becomes rhetoric. But right now, Boosie, I'm going to say, no, you being treated unfair, bruh. That ain't cool. What you said was a knee-jerk reaction because you don't know the process. But it's not what you think it is. Trust, okay? So with that, honey, let me let y'all go because that's my Big Meach moment.